is with us today? Cole. Hey, Cole. Okay, I think we're in business. All right, y'all. Let's go to our module for today. Y'all did your attendance question? Go do, even if you're in class, you still need to do your attendance question. So we're in week 6. Let me close that. Okay, I did your grades for week 5 different than I did the previous. I just did the whole week 5, okay, out of 40 points because you had 4 daily assignments, which is 40 points, 10 apiece. So if you don't have a perfect 40, that means that you missed something. Or maybe your Delta math wasn't 100%, something along that line. So if you look at that and you're not sure what's going on, you can always email me and say, Ms. Cole, why do I have a 30 out of 40? But an even better way to do that is to go look at your module for week 5 and go look at each of the assignments. If you didn't submit an assignment, you got a 0, okay? If you submitted it incorrectly, I will leave you a note. The problem with Canvas is, like, I can leave these notes on your assignments, but it doesn't notify you, okay? You have to go and look at it. So if for whatever reason you don't have a 40 out of 40 for last week, go look at the module for week 5, open up each of the assignments and see, did you submit it? If you did, there will be a notes there that say, I can't see this document, or this is not clear, you forgot to submit your homework, whatever it is, okay? So that's gonna be your first clue as to why you don't have a perfect grade. I just decided if I'm gonna enter 4 or 5 grades per week, our grade book is gonna be insane. There's just gonna be too many grades. So that's why I decided to do the whole week 5, which is what I usually do. Like if you had me in the past, that's what I always do the a weekly grade. But this year I decided to actually put the assignment so you would know what you missed. But now we're rocking and rolling. Everybody's in the groove. If you don't know what you're missing, you have your modules to go look at. So that makes it very easy to see what's going on. I'm not going back to look at anything that's old, okay? So anything that's week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't go back and look at. I'm not checking those every day to see, oh, someone else submitted their work. So if you submit something that's old and you want partial credit for it or whatever it is, you need to email me and say, Ms. Cole, today I submitted this, today I submitted that. So then I can go back and look at it and get your grade, okay? So if you don't tell me, I have no way to know that you did that. It doesn't send me an email and say, Kristen Cole submitted this assignment. It doesn't do that, okay? I have to go back and physically look, but I'm not doing that every day for 6 classes for 140 students, okay? So you have to be the one that's responsible enough to say, I submitted this assignment so that I can go back and get your grade. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, so today we are working on lesson 3.2 in our textbook. We finished up lesson 3.1 yesterday with elimination. You guys were doing Delta math. That's why there's no key for today, because everything's on Delta math. And I like to use that because you get automatic feedback on that. Like, you know whether or not you're doing it correct or incorrect. You could also watch the videos. They have the tips, all of those things on Delta Math, whereas your paper homework does not have that, okay? So I think that Delta Math is helpful in that way so that you can get your help. Okay, now we are doing this lesson for 2 days. So 1 day in class, and then you'll have it again on a virtual day. And the reason it is, it's because it's kind of a difficult topic. So you'll notice that in red or orange, whatever color that is, it says today's homework is number 10. Okay, so you're only going to have one homework problem tonight, and it's number 10. Okay, so let me switch over, get my notes page. Now, I can just tell you that this lesson is not going to be some of your favorites. Because it is it? Okay. Hopefully I can make it easy for you, but the task is challenging, okay? What you're doing in this lesson is you're solving 3 equations in 3 variables, okay? So instead of us getting an answer that is x comma y, our answers are going to be x, y, z. We're dealing with 3 dimensions, okay? So we're also dealing with our normal x-axis, our normal y-axis, and then the z-axis is what is going to give us that 3rd dimension. That's like all the new technology has, like the 3D movies and all of this stuff. Well, a computer is doing this behind the scenes so that we can see that image, okay? So we are going to be doing this by hand to see how it works. Now, we're just going to talk about this first example. I'm not actually going to do this one. But if we look at this first example here, we're going to kind of just skip over the words and just look at what we have here. So if you look at what this is, you've got your G's, whoops, you have your S, and you have your B, okay? And you can see everyone's stacked up, which is a requirement. When you're doing a system, you want everyone to be in the correct spot. And if you don't have one, like if for whatever reason, one equation didn't have an S, then you would just skip that spot and then make sure the B was lined up with the other B's, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're about to eliminate one of those variables. So first thing you want to do, set it up stacked. Then you're going to be able to solve. And I'm going to walk you through all of the steps for solving. It does say under here, right here, just as the ordered pair xy is a solution of a system in 2 variables, the ordered triplet. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on, the ordered triple, xyz is a solution to the system in 3 variables. Ordered triples are graphed on 3-dimensional coordinate spaces. Okay, so if you look at this one, you can see that they've got the 3 different axes, and you've got X running here, Y is running this way, Z is running up and down. Okay, so what we're doing is when we're graphing this, we're doing 3, -2, 4. So you're going 3 forward, 1, 2, 3, like it's coming off of the page. 3 forward, 1, 2, 3. 2 left, 1, 2, and 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we're not actually going to graph things 3-dimensional in this class. I just want you to see it. So this does look like it's flat on that paper, but it's not. It's actually floating 3 above. Okay, so if we had a flat surface, we would be going 3 up, 2 left, and then 4 up. Okay, so it would be somewhere up here, not flat on that sheet of paper, okay? That's 3-dimensional. Now, here's an example that we're going to work out. I'm going to actually work this problem out. You have the notes here, but I would suggest that you show the notes that I'm about to show you so you've got a good example for what I am going to do. So you may need another sheet of paper. You may have to write tiny, but these problems, one problem is going to take up half of a sheet of paper. Okay, so it's a big problem. It's not hard. There's just a lot of steps. Okay, so the first thing that you do when you're looking at these 3 equations, and we're not actually doing substitution, so hold on, y'all. We're not doing this. You're not doing substitution. We're only learning one method, and that method is elimination. We're only doing elimination because it's just easier. So if you look at this problem, we're still going to use this problem. We're just not using substitution, okay? So if you look at this problem, you have your X column, your Y column, and your Z column. You want to pick the one that you think is going to be the easiest all the way through. Okay, so like, yeah, I see that this 2 and -2 are opposites, but then you've got that 6 right there. So that kind of throws the loop in things. You'd have to do some multiplication. This one has a 7, a 3, and a 3. So the 3s are the same. You just would have to make one negative. So then you've got Z, Z, and Z. So all of those are just a plain Z. So it's very easy for us to just multiply by negative, make one of them negative, and then eliminate. Okay? So step 1, identify the easiest to eliminate. I'm going to write this down. Okay, so I say for this example, it's Z. So, step 2, pick 2 of the 3 equations. You cannot do all 3 of them together. Won't work. You've got to do only 2 at a time. So if I look at this and label this 1, 2, 3, okay, keep myself straight, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start with 1 and 2. So I'm going to pick 1, and I'm not going to change 1. I'm going to leave it alone. Okay. Now 2, I do need to change. And what change do I need to do to 2 to be able to eliminate Z? That's right. We need to multiply by -1 because we need that to be a negative Z. Now, when you do that, you have to multiply everyone by -1. So we're going to multiply by -1. What's -2x times -1? Positive 2x. What's 3y times -1? Good. Then we have positive z times -1. And then -13 times -1 is 13. Once you get to this point, you do elimination, just like you did on yesterday's homework. You add them together. What's 2x plus 2x? 4x. What's 7y plus -3y? What happens to your z's? They eliminate, and we get -53 and 13. What's that going to give us? In front of this equation, I want you to put a 4 and circle it. You just created equation number 4. All right. Step 3. Okay. Pick another set of equations. Now, who do we have to use? Well, no, you're going to have to go back to the originals. So we have to use 3 because we haven't used 3 yet, okay? So I'm going to use equation number 3, which is 6x plus 3y plus z equals -45. Now, you can use 1 or 2. It doesn't matter. Whichever one's going to be easiest. Well, we already converted 2 by multiplying by -1, right? So I'm going to use that again because we need this to be, again, a negative z. So I'm still using equation 2. And I'm still using the multiplied by -1. So I've got positive 2x minus 3y minus z equals positive 13. Everybody see that? What am I going to do now? I'm going to add them. Going to add them together. Okay, what's 6x plus 2x? 8x. What's positive 3y and negative 3y? They cancel out. What about positive z and negative z? And then negative 45 and 13. Negative 32. This is equation 5. Okay. Now, typically step 4 is to combine 4 and 5. So you would stack up the 4 and 5, and you would do the whole process again. But this one has a shortcut. Which this one is. Can anyone spot the shortcut? That's right. The fifth equation can just be solved for x because there's not a y there. So since we just have an x, how could we get x by itself? Divide by 8, so x equals -4. So you already have one of your variables. Your goal is to get 3 variables, x, y, and z. So this one had a shortcut, which means we were able to just go ahead and get x equals -4. Once you have one of your answers, you're going to plug. This would be step 5. Plug back into 4 or 5. Now, with this case, plugging x back into equation 5 doesn't give us y. We want to get y. So we've got to go back to equation 4. So I'm going back to equation 4, and I've got 4, and instead of x, I'm plugging in -4 plus 4y equals -40. So I'm just plugging back in, just like you did on your homework last night. Yes, sir? No, I am in the middle of the equation, or the middle of the problem. You're on Zoom asking that question. When all these parents listen to this, they're going to be like, oh my God, who would stop class for that? No, not till we're done with this problem. 4 times -4 is what? -16 plus 4y equals -40. What do I need to do next? Add 16. 4y equals 24.
Yeah.
Divide by 4. What's y?
6.
-6.
Yes.
So we have 2 of the 3 equations. I know, we're not done. Still not done. Where are we going to get that last equation? Plug both of those into who?
1.
That's right. So, what step are we on? Step 6? I told y'all it was going to take a whole page.
Who invented this?
Not Miss Cole. Step 6. Plug both found variables, because it may not always be x and y. It may be x and z, or z and y. So plug both found variables into 1, 2, or 3. Go back to the originals. So which one do you think is going to be easiest? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Just one? Okay. So you've got 2 times x. Who's x? Plus 7 times y, which is plus z equals negative 53. What's 2 times negative 4? Negative 8. What's 7 times negative 6? 42? Is that right? 42? Negative 42? Okay. What's negative 8 and negative 42 together? Negative 50 plus z equals negative 53. Add 50. So z equals negative 3. All of that to get your answer. What is your answer? Don't you feel accomplished?
No, I feel.
You just did that. Well, yeah, Ashton, duh. It's not about knowing the answer. It's about how to get the answer.
I wasted a lot of time for a math problem I'll never use in my life. Yeah, that was on the bottom of the page.
Y'all are so cute, man. Go to the bathroom. Now is an appropriate time to ask to go to the bathroom. I'm so glad this is all being recorded. Let's see who all is experiencing this with us. All right. Everybody on YouTube can watch this.
This is, I mean, I don't know what you mean. This is way more interesting than watching the A class do.
Probably true. A is, there's only 5 of them. They're just so quiet.
Tomorrow I'm just going to yell talk. I'm going to yell talk with it.
Okay. Y'all want me to do another one with you, or are you like ready to do it by yourself?
I don't want to do it.
Okay, we're going to do it again together. I know. I told y'all already. I told you in the beginning you weren't going to love it. There's not a trick. This is it. This is it. Okay, we're going to do A. Start with labeling it 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can write this on a paper. Yeah, I'm going to give you a second to write it down if you're doing a piece of paper. And honestly, I would have to do it on a piece of paper because the Springboard book does not have enough space. Okay, step 1, pick who's going to be easiest to eliminate. This one doesn't have a clear cut, so we're just going to have to make a decision. Do Y's. Okay. For this example, we're going to eliminate Y. And it's just a decision we made. If I looked at that, I would have chosen either Y or Z, but not X. X has got too much going on. So I'm going to eliminate Y. So if I start with equation 1, I've got X plus 4Y plus Z equals 3. Okay. Who do you want to pair it with? 2 or 3? Well, we already picked Y, so we're going to go with it, which is just going to be multiplying by 4. So do you want to multiply? Let's just do 2. We're going to take equation 2, and we're going to multiply by 4. So what's 2x times 4? 8x. What's 4 times Y? What is 4 times Z? We sure do. Equals 44. But she's exactly right. We do have to do negative. I didn't think about that, but she's correct. So we need to be multiplying by negative 4. So that's going to make this negative 8, negative 4y, negative 4z, and negative 44. Sorry about that. Thank you, Lily. Now we're going to add these together. So what's x plus negative 8x? Negative 7x. You've got negative 4y and positive 4y. So those are going to, that's the whole goal. That's what we're trying to do. Then you've got positive z and negative 4z. So what's that going to give you? Negative 3z equals 4 plus, yep, that's negative 41. And remember, you put a 4 and circle it in front of this. You just created equation number 4. You better come on, Ashton. You're going to get behind. Good. Then do it and submit your notes so I can give you a 10 out of 10. I mean, I'm ready for it. Week 6, let's go for it. All right. Now, we also need to do this again. This time we have to use equation 3, which equation 3 is 4x plus y plus 2z equals 23. Why do we have to use equation 3?
We haven't used it yet.
We haven't used it yet. Everyone has to be used at least once. Now, do you want to pair it with equation 1 or equation 2? Obviously 2, because it's going to eliminate. This time, though, instead of multiplying by negative 4, what do we need to multiply by? By negative 1. So we're going to have negative 2x minus y minus z equals negative 11. And then once we get here, what do we do? Add them together. So see, it's not fun. Like nobody's like, oh my God, I love this, but it's really not hard. You're just doing the same thing over and over and over. Okay, so it's very repetitive. What's 4x plus negative 2x?
2x.
Good. You've got a positive y and a negative y. Cancel. You've got 2z and negative z, which gives you positive z equals 23 and negative 11, which is 12. Y'all better be doing this for your notes. Okay, this is how you're getting your points for today. So you're eliminating z. That's fine, and you should still get the same answer as us at the end. Okay? Like one of your equations doesn't have y? I'll have to look at yours because you're not doing the same thing as us. So I'm going to have to like look at your problem. But let me keep going with ours so I can keep us moving. Okay, so if we look here, now we've got equation 4 and equation 5. So what are we supposed to do here? Y'all get off your phones and pay attention. Y'all going to be so lost on this because y'all texting. Combine 4 and 5. That's equation 4, and this is equation 5. Do they eliminate? No. Okay, so they don't eliminate, so I need to multiply to make them eliminate. What's going to be my easiest thing to do? And multiply by. If we want this to be positive 3z, what do I have to multiply everybody by? Need to multiply everybody by 3. So that's going to make this 6x plus 3z equals 36. Okay. Now what am I doing? Adding them together. Yep. Negative x. Is that 5 or 7? What's the math right here, y'all? 5. So negative 5. Divide by negative 1. X equals positive 5. We have one of our 3 equations. What do we do next? Plug it into 4 or 5. So which one do you want to plug into? 4 or 5 over there? 5. Okay, so 5 is 2 times x, which we now know is 5, plus z equals 12. 2 times 5 is 10, plus z equals 12. Subtract 10, so z equals 2. Now we have 2 of the 3. Where do I get the third one? To what equations? 1, 2, or 3? Any of the originals. So which one do you guys want? 1, 2, or 3? 1. Okay, so instead of x, I'm plugging in 5. So this is equation 1. Plus 4 times y, which we don't know, plus z, which is 2, equals 3. Now, when you look on the same side, you've got a 5 and a 2 that can be combined. What's 5 plus 2? So 4y plus 7 equals 3. Now what? Subtract 7, which what does that give you? That's right, negative 4. How do I get y by itself? What's negative 4 divided by positive 4? So y equals negative 1. So what is your answer? Ta-da! Those are the steps. I know there's a lot to it, but you got to pick who eliminate that, okay? But you're eliminating that the whole way through. So if you choose y, you are trying to eliminate y from everybody, 1, 2, and 3, okay? So you pick who you eliminate, get equation 4, eliminate, get equation 5. Once you've got 4 and 5, you combine those. That gives you a single answer. Plug the answer back into equation 4 or 5. That gives you your second answer. Then plug both answers into equation 1, 2, or 3. That's it. I want you to work on number 10. I don't want to give you an equation to just practice on. I want you to go straight to your homework so you're not wasting your time. Nuh-uh, not tonight. Don't use substitution. Use what I just taught you, okay? So you're doing number 10 right there for homework. Just that one equation. You can talk to each other about it. You can ask questions. You can ask me questions. But that's what you're doing for the rest of the class period. It's just working on number 10. You can just turn in that. That's totally fine. Make sure, though, that your name is on everything that you submit to me. Put your name on your notes. Put your name on your homework. Name needs to be on everything. Lily's question was a good question. Today, she took all of her notes on a piece of paper. So she doesn't need to submit Springboard pages at all because she didn't write on her Springboard pages. She can just submit her paper notes. But her name needs to be on her paper notes. Does that make sense? You ready for me to look at your problem? Let me end this Zoom meeting, and then I will look at you. What? Uh-huh. And you can look up YouTube videos if you need it. Cole, you have any questions for me? Okay, I am ending the meeting then. He was like, bye.